Hi, it's Dominic from the MSguide.com. I'm an MS patient of 28 years. Touch Independent Medical Education has asked me to give them a patient's view of the highlights of ECTRIMS this year. ECTRIMS being this really massive medical conference that happened in Amsterdam a few weeks ago, and it's easily the biggest MS conference in the world. I was there, and I'm going to try and use what I learned to share what I think is important for patients. My third and probably final serious takeaway from ECTRIMS is, in some ways, common sense for everyone for life, but I always think it's doubly important for people with MS, and that's the importance of exercise and activity. And I would also add into that, these feel like obvious things that we know, but I would add in diet, sleep hygiene, all these kind of things, essentially being a little more rigid and less cavalier at the way we run our lives. You know, I remember being sort of young and not having to sleep much and drinking too much and all those kind of things, but really with MS, it pays so much to exercise. It pays all of us to exercise, but with MS, it's something that I've done a lot of because it's things that I do that I enjoy that give me exercise. But I'm 28 years and I will happily walk 10,000 steps a day. Yesterday I cycled across London from Paddington to Barts and back because there was a tube strike, and it doesn't bother me. And I'm incredibly fortunate, and I'm sure it's a combination of luck and drugs, but I reckon the exercise has a lot to do with it, as does one of my neurologists who I was speaking to. He thinks that that has paid me great dividends and I wasn't even trying to. So diet, exercise, sleep, all the good sort of holistic non-drug things that are super duper important. And I would also add the mental health aspect of MS, the importance of MSers supporting other MSers, group activity, just somewhere safe space, should we say, like Shift, who Touch has kindly donated to for me to do this video. And it's just so crucial because MS is shocking, and there's talk now about PTSD and psychological interventions, and I had nothing like that in my day. I dealt with it by suppressing it, but I'm sure it wasn't the healthiest thing to do. But if you're newly diagnosed with MS, it's a heck of a shock. So anything like that, it's all a tsunami of information, really. For a new patient, Dr. Boster was saying to me, he reckons it takes a couple of years to really process it. So don't be surprised if your patient doesn't seem, shall we say, responsive to everything that you would think they ought to do and know they ought to do. Everything else from ECTRIMS, it was incredibly cool science, and it was really just invigorating to see how much work is being done and all the incredibly clever people who are turning their minds to making ultimately the lives of patients like me and other people better. So thank you very much.